Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Embody Your True Essence. It's Monday. It's August 12th, 2024. It's a step 20 day. Today is a day that you feel really vulnerable. So I definitely feel that vulnerable type of energy. How's your mood? What's your feeling? Maybe type in the comments how you guys feeling today. It's definitely a day of feeling vulnerable, and I definitely feel that. Also, I feel like since the Lionsgate portal, I've been purging, and purging. Good morning, Jonathan. I've been purging and a lot of emotional release. Like even yesterday, so I was with Jonathan, and they were just having fun and doing their thing, and then I had this like irrational fear keep coming up like almost paranoid. One of my things that I noticed, I have this so much fear of losing things or being like fear of my stuff being stolen, and that fear was like really obvious yesterday. And grand rising, everyone. A lot of old stories popping up. Yeah, if you can resonate with that, like I am like 100%. Like it's so funny to the point, like it's so irrational to the point that it's like I can't describe it. Like yesterday, I was at the beach. Yes, of course, I need to use my discernment to be worry about my like not worry, but be mindful about my belongings, right? Like when you're in at the beach, you never know. But it's not like I'm in a dangerous place. Like I'm just like casually in Vancouver. Not that it's a completely safe place, but at the same time, it's kind of like why am I have this obsessed thinking about like needing to protect my belongings, right? And then when I went into the water, it's an ocean water, and it's funny. It happened to me. This was the second time yesterday. I don't know if you anybody have that experience. I felt the salt water, like the ocean water, was very like I had this like a little bit of tingly sensations in my skin, not all over my skin, but some area. And then so okay, I'm in the water. I'm feeling a little bit of tingly sensation, and then as soon as I got off, and I was in the water probably like 5 to 10 minutes, and got out of the water, and I kind of like I see this in, almost like a allergic reaction from the ocean. It's like, wow, this is new. And then it was the second time because the last time I went to the beach by myself and I went into water, and it's like, look at my skin, like around my hip flexor, like just below my hip flexor, and also just above my knees. And I'm not worried, and I just observing what is this reaction. I know, ocean has salt and all other things, and and then I've been taking magnesium, so I'm just thinking about just the science that I learned. Like it's a relationship between magnesium and how do you say it? Natrium? How do you say that? Anyways, so the balance of I know that my body is changing. I've been taking dimethyl food grade, so which is definitely like I've been taking silica. And then if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Ikue, and I teach people how to heal themselves. And anyways, so that we are moving from carbon based DNA to crystalline based DNA. If you ever heard of any spiritual people talking about that, our DNA changing, and with our fascia work, my fascia is opening up, right? But I know some area of my fascia is still needs some work. I call that slow fascia. So I know that this is a generation. I like to do the heart, see, but the heart can be the new generation, right? This is so hard, and this is the heart too. This is an Asian K-pop thing. Yeah, feeling so much anxiety lately. Super worried about a lot of things. Yeah, for me, like that a lot most of the time that my worries are very much irrational, like irrational to the point that I just like I can't describe. It's like, why am I so worried? Like, if I'm not, I am evolving, I'm growing, and if I'm not happy with where I am, I just know that I'm not gonna be happy. So I'm like, okay, practice arts of showing gratitude, thanking everything, and I'm practicing that at the same time. It's kind of like I describe this, energy hits the skin, hits the layers of fascia, and then if you have some distortion, adhesion, and that's when the light goes through the layers of fascia, it's distort the energy. And then because fascia is a perception, we all have narrative, right? Attached to stories, or feeling attached to stories. So when I go through that, the light being my thing go through the layers of fascia and triggers a sensation, and that's when we have a buffer time, right? So there's a sensation. This is a sensation on my fascia, and there's a narrative, right? So the perception, and then I remember the feeling from the past life, or not past life, but from a childhood. This is familiar, right? Just because it's familiar doesn't mean that it's good for you, right? Like we all been there. And then it's called triggers the sensation, and that sensation triggers the emotions. So yeah, I feel like this. So that's just one way to describe, but it's like when you tap something and things do come out, it's kind of like, you clean the dusty area, and you kind of just tap, all the dust just come out. And then just yeah, it's just like the hidden emotions and the feeling of my anxiety are coming up like whoo, 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 whoo. It's like, and it's like, yeah, just like I'm mindful. At the same time, I just did like Human Garage hands-on training, and it was a very powerful day. And it was just like, Lionsgate, Lionsgate portal, and the hands-on training, working with fascia. I feel like I am integrating, I am being kind to myself, being mindful. I know that a lot of stuff that I'm being released, it's not so much about what's happening right now at this second. It's more about all these patterns, accumulated patterns of, what no longer serves us anymore. Things are coming up, like from the childhood to even past life, So maybe that's why tapping works. I just thought about EMF tapping. Yeah, it's just like as you're tapping, it's just all that dust are coming up, right? And it's like, no, you're fine. You're safe to release all these emotions, thinking emotions, and you don't have to welcome negative emotion necessarily. But as they come up, it's just kind of just like, you're safe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just release that. Release that. Know that it's okay. Know that it's okay. So that's the energy of the day. Do you guys have anything that comes up? Yeah. Yeah. So the emotions are really high. Oh, another sensation I've been having is the burping sensation. There's a stuff moving in my gut, and it's just like circulating. I'm pushing and pulling, working with fascia. But yeah, definitely things are moving. And if you're normally going through something in your gut, because basically the gut is your brain. So I definitely feel a connection. I was lightheaded yesterday, and I had some headache. And good, if you have headache and migraines, if you guys know, familiar with fascial maneuvers, we do until twist, which is release the tension of your head by touching your palm, letting your palm touch the temple, and you can kind of twist the skin, squeeze your head, and then right side twist the skin right side forward and the left side backwards, and it kind of just like you feel free to adjust. But this is a great way to move the energy quickly if you have nausea, headache, and migraine, and you feel like your tension is being built up in your head. So that's a good one. And also, this one is good too. So counter rotation is super powerful. So you can kind of like squeeze your head and then twist both sides. So if you go twist this way, and you can twist this way, and pick the direction is tighter. For me, it's definitely this way. So felt that on Sunday morning. Yeah, sometimes like, if you catch I think it's Jonathan, we talked about the power of listening yesterday, right? Instead of reacting, listening, observing, and that's a buffer time, between the trigger and your reaction. This is the power, right? So it's like, okay, why am I feeling this way? My feelings are being triggered, or little physical reaction, right? Okay, my body is feeling it. What is this feeling? And Serious Joy, I'm going to read it, but talk about differentiating your feeling and your heart idea. And I think for me, that's something that I'm learning. So I can't really articulate, but I would love to discuss and feel that difference between the feeling that comes up. Like all feelings are valid, but at the same time, like maybe you're feeling those things from your past triggers, our patterns. And our heart is the truth, right? And that there's an intuition, that's an inspiration coming up. So connecting those things is so important. Also, another thing that is important is to differentiate your feelings from the feeling of other people, or feeling that the world is feeling, like collectively, globally. There's so much anxiety, but anxiety and excitement are basically the same chemical cocktails, right? So, and it's our perception that decide if this energy is good or bad. If we perceive as little negative, and then we perceive as anxiety, but also if it's positive, then obviously it's an excitement. So it's up to us, right? Physical right tight neck after coming up super lightheaded, dizzy, but clicks, release. Yeah, once you click, not just, and you feel good, right? Really understanding that pinning and moving around your body. Yeah, definitely. Um, so, some people are, I would say, like gifted. I will use the word gifted. Maybe because of their ancestor taking the DNA, or because you practice your body so much that you are more attuned to your energy, or maybe you have a zodiac sign that you just, whatever you perceive, you immediately feel without resisting it. And Jonathan's who watching. Jonathan is Cancer, and I was with his friend Rob yesterday at the beach, and I just like being with Cancer, like the people with the Cancer zodiac sign. It's like, wow, there was like really being attached to their emotions and body, like for me, like that's something that like I'm unwinding. I have a lot of like Libra, but I'm a Capricorn Libra, 26 Libra. What that means is I have a lot of like decision maker, leadership type of energy, and I'm started to embrace that. But this type of energy can be the opposite, is controlling, needing to micromanage everything. And I noticed that about myself. Like even this morning, it's like, wow, like I am calculating without calculating. That's the phrase I would use. It's kind of like, wow, like everything I do without me knowing, I'm kind of calculating, because maybe I feel the need to control everything, because behind all that, I have fear of, not trusting, not surrendering, right? And this pattern is becoming more noticeable for me and bringing into my attention, because now that I move my fascia, because I've been working on calming down my nervous system, so now I can finally able to work those patterns. So that's why the patterns are coming up. It's like, why am I so rigid in this area? Let's start with that. Like, why am I so rigid in this area? Yeah, when you get anxiety, that's connecting with people help. When you get anxiety, that's connecting with people help. Okay. Um, Depends, right? It's maybe you want to connect with people that it just radically accept you for who you are without judgment. Because when you have so much anxiety, you don't really want to be with people that judge you, right? I do have a lot of judgment side. I think it's just Capricorn in me that I like want to judge or something. I am accepting that part of myself. I use it this skill as my advantage because I know what looks good and what doesn't look good. But what I stop is I'm going to stop using this power to hurt myself or discriminate other people because that's just negative, right? Self doubt. Um, my topics are jumping, but I think it's all connect beautifully in the end. We have breakdance. So I shouldn't be saying breakdance. Breaking, um, publicly known as breakdance. Breaking is just debut in Paris Olympics. We had the B girl, B boy championship. B girl, B boy are the people who do breaking, and B stands for where hip hop is from. So which is South Bronx and Bronx. A little bit of history, and it was a monumental moment for hip hop and elements of hip hop. Breaking is part of the elements of hip hop. To debut in the Paris Olympics is so exciting. And as we had so much expectation, Phil Wizard from Vancouver, he won the gold medal. And I've been kind of obsessed with this post and going through, like, I love when he's talking. He's so deep. And like yesterday, before I fell asleep, I was halfway watching his podcast, like he podcast interview, and the way he described how he flow with the emotion, like flow with this, like flow state. When he dances, he got the technique. He in the breaking scene, they talk about train like athlete and think like an artist type of thing. Did I screenshot? I'll let you know. Yeah, so train like an athlete, but at the same time, breaking is an art. So think like an art, and that's a combination makes breaking beautiful, right? And he talks about overcoming his self doubt, and it seems like he's struggled with a lot of self doubt and anxiety, and especially I watched him grow up. Like I know the first time he stepped into a dance studio and learned breaking, like the basic 101 from I'll call this Olympic crew, now or never crew in Vancouver. And I watched him like practice at a Robson Square. We have a Robson Square in Vancouver where there's like a ice, like it's a concrete area, and the concrete is very smooth, and it's awesome to practice dancing there, and it's free. And Vancouver is so expensive, so people find Robson Square as a place to practice. It's like the communities there, and I've seen him like practice and by himself and with his, maybe someone else. And I can see that, overcoming his self doubt and it's just like believing himself and doing a lot of inner work through that to harness his own power. Because, there's gonna be so many talented people, dancers around the world, right? And we all know that, like, like I'm like no one is really really special, but it's like they will tell you you're special, but if you don't feel that way, then like it's nothing really matters. And so really tap into that self-doubt and overcoming it. And if you hear some inspirational talk from someone that who won the gold medal, it's just so inspiring. So I encourage you guys to watch it. If you're interested in watching, just shoot me a message so I can send you the link. But I was just watching it. Yeah. Um, Hello, Charles. It seems like you're very happy when you share, given free from any anxiety. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, this is speaking meditation time. As I speak, I'm transmuting my energy, right? So yeah, thank you guys for being here and watch. Is it because of our science, or is it because we were judged when we were growing up? So we have that in our program. So we do it as well subconsciously. I think it goes both ways. We pick our birth time, birth locations, and pick our parents, right? So definitely we already have that energy, and we pick our zodiac sign as well. And then we pick our parents. It's like, it's like a validation of what you already have inside. Everything that our validation from outside is kind of like the projection, like reflection of us that already have, right? Judgment is not necessarily a bad thing. Is it? We need to judge to make decisions. Yeah, for example, that's why I'm saying like Capricorn energy is about decision making and leadership, and we all need that. But the negative side of being that is that controlling side of it. Controlling side, also using that judgment to harm ourselves. And yeah, that's something that I'm working on. I believe it's both. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, thank you for answering. And yes, hopefully a combination of all. Yes, yeah, definitely. For now, I still constantly judge, but I'm aware of it and change my response to kindness if possible. I think that's, you hit that jackpot. What's that word? Jackpot. Because I think at the end of it, you just accept that part of ourselves, but don't let that part of ourselves stop us from doing what we want to do. One thing I wanted to add with that Phil Wizard, the breaking gold medal champion, breakers, he talks about, he was asked, how did you overcome the self-doubt? He basically said it's with the repetition, and he still have the self-doubt. He broke down into tears during the interview a day before the competitions of this Olympics, right? So I think we all go through that, but not being afraid to show that side of us and acknowledge that side of us. But at some point, I think when you, especially like me, when you go through so much self-doubt, at some point I think we will come to a point where we just get sick and tired of it. And that's what Phil said too. It's like I just stop the pattern, because it's just never endless cycle, and it's just like it's not going to go away. So you just, you work through that, and it becomes less and less, but you just stop the part of yourself. It's going to be there. And I think, where the world is going, people are kind of pointing at each other, cyberbullying, and even just to take that Paris Olympics, there was this Ray Gun. She was one of the B girls who made it to Paris Olympics, and because of her styles and how she delivered on the center stage of the competition, she's been bashed all over the place. You probably saw it by now. It's crazy how internet is, right? I think is that there's, sometimes you need to set the boundaries for yourself, not let it all in. And but that's kind of like a fate. If you are bound to be famous and being seen, you just have to be ready, but also you don't have to take it all. You just have a choice. And we're going to this era, age of Aquarius. It's all about innovation, co-creation, and flowing like water. So nothing rigid, nothing really rigid. It changes in a second. And but we all are programmed and brainwashed in some way or the other. So there are parts of us that when we have a change, we resist. It's like, I know where this pattern comes to me, right? And it's like, okay, I trust. I learned to move like water, but those patterns come up, you're just so aware now more than ever, right? So it's about, we are light being, and we're light workers going into and pioneering, and it's like take people, let's just shine the light. But it's not about I am only good, you are only bad. It's any community, even Hollywood, government. It's a mixture of light and darkness in all of us and in an organization, right? So it's just that's what it is. So it's not like, oh, everything is perfect, it's all light. It's not. It's a mixture of light and darkness, and mixed in all in one. Mush. So, but what I learned is we all have a choice, right? What you think you're gonna take, what are we choosing at the moment? I see it. I see my patterns coming up. I see their patterns coming up. I choose this. And that's intention. Intention, allowing ourselves to receive what we want, and also allowing and keep opening up the possibilities, that what's possible. We are all special. Yes. Positive, negative is judgment. Saying the rose is beautiful. That's still a judgment. Yeah, 100%. Right? Yeah. I watched the breaking competition. It was so cool. Yeah, it was so cool. We will stop when we are tired of being tired, for sure. Yeah. Yes, the 100%. Yes, I agree. I suppose that Buddha would say, just see it as it is, yet due to my duality as a human, I need to choose to look towards the kindness and love, acceptance, and emanating love. Like, yeah, 100%. Thank you guys for like concluding my sentences. Is yeah, as at the end of it, we have a judgment, but it's like it's okay. Accept that part of myself, and it's my superpower. And but I choose to be kind to myself. I choose to be kind to this person. At the end of it, we are all figuring out. We're all figuring out, right? Yeah, remember we also need darkness. But it's about the balance, right? A little bit of sprinkle of this and that. But you don't want to be caught up with any side, right? It's about flowing like water. If we are all good or all bad, we'll be on one side of the scale, the other extreme of the same thing. Yeah, because everything is moderation. Even when we get so much goodness, good, and then you get so numb to the point that you forget appreciating, you forget what it's like to be in the good. And maybe that's what exactly happening. Everything is good, but because we are so blessed and we forget to show some gratitude, and it just becomes normal. So the center, nor good or bad. Yeah, definitely feel that. We're creating this center where we belong, and my belonging, where I belong, is solid, not rigid. And so when it's necessary, I am like, I can bend myself, right? And that's where we're heading. We're all learning to flow like Pisces energy, like flow like a fish. Yeah. So everything is coming up. It's very interesting. Like I think it's when you started to take the stance of observing and listening more than reacting and human doing rather than human being, and believing. I was given this word, just believing being, dig deeper, believing being. And because, I think one of the themes today, self-doubt. I have helped myself so much with my judgment because I see everything. But I stopping myself because of my judgment. It's just gonna be there, I created the content. I'm not fully satisfied, and I have a higher standard. But I would just post anyways. because day one or one day. And I just like, at the end of it, it's like allowing ourselves to make mistakes and feeling safe doing so. That's a very powerful place to be. It's okay to feel, okay to feel safe in any moment, right? Feeling on safety. That's something that I'm working on that. And I noticed my micromanage controlling nature. So exhausting. You guys feel that? Why do we need to control everything? But I feel the need to control, but there's nothing to control. Like, why am I like this? So today is I'm going to read Series Joy. Today is we're still in the Leo season. We're in the third decade, which means like the next 10 days we're learning to master Leo season. This is the moment, finish strong. Because if you can work through some of the patterns and it just end some toxic patterns once for all. Right? If you don't get to, that's okay. A year later, Leo season comes back again, so you get to practice that pattern to end the pattern once for all. And it will practice again if you don't get to finish next day. The next season is here. So we all get the second chance and third chance and millionth chance to get it right. But it's don't forget to maybe laugh at ourselves, our mistakes, and it's like, okay, I am so controlling. This is exhausting. Okay, sounds good. Bye, Jonathan. But I'm learning, be kind to myself all the way. Love turns into passion today and may need some appropriate boundaries to no overwhelm or allow oneself to become overwhelmed. You're feeling the future taking flight. To manifest your goal, what you're becoming on the inside is very important. A powerhouse of self-love and determination to support yourself is necessary. Commit on the inside to what is needed to manifest on the outside. Jupiter at 16 Gemini invites education from your higher self. There are resolutions that are subtly coming in as suggestions. Listen to intuitive guidance you receive today. So my goal story, my midheaven, which represents as your life purpose in this lifetime, is 16 Taurus. And I started to notice more than ever about the significant number of 16. So I'm talking about astro chart. If you guys are interested, you guys should look into Series Joy. It will tell you so much about your, teach you so much about your astro energy. You can also run your chart from astro.com. Astro.com is a free, there's some paid feature too, but you can run your chart and start learning more about your life, why you came here for, glimpse of your past life, and whole patterns that you have inside of you. And it's all about learning. And for me, 16 seems to be a very powerful number because that's my midheaven, my goal story. But interestingly, my midheaven goal story is perfectly aligned with my Chiron, which represent that failure in a past life. So my failure is what I came here for, 16 Taurus. And it's super interesting because 16, 1, I love, 6, I receive, and 7 is an intuition. So I love, I receive, and I think in the past life, my heart was open, I was told that, but I failed to listen to my intuition. So I'm learning about intuition. Okay, where my heart just want to have fun, feelings are valid. We all kind of complicated and complex in nature. And what I'm learning about myself, and I think after many past life, I have learned to suppress certain emotions that come up because it was not safe for me to express. And so I master at suppressing some energy and don't even show it in my face and poker face. And I'm an Aquarius in Moon, and that's that side of it. Anyone who has Aquarius in Moon, it's just we're so good at suppressing emotion, and we don't even notice. And over time, this you don't even feel and acknowledge this feeling. So it's like you have to see that reflection in others, and it's like, oh, this is what its anger looks like, feels like. It's a weird feeling. It's kind of like as an Aquarius, emotion and feelings are kind of like, it's like hard to understand kind of thing. So I had to intellectualize and study these emotions and feeling at university so that I can study them. So this is a this is probably a very weird feeling for people who have cancer. Like, Jonathan, I think Keto Buddha is cancer too, right? If you're still watching. Cancer, that people with zodiac sign cancer is so attached to the emotions. Like, you can't even separate emotions from body or emotions from heart. It's just like mushed. So for these people, I am very hard to be understood. I've been misunderstood. I've been judged for that because I can totally separate my feelings from like what's going on. It's like I make decision based on the fairness. And I thought that fairness and judgment was a Libra side of me, but more I learned that it's actually that's a Capricorn side of me. Like, put my emotions aside, I can make decisions. Put my emotions aside, I can push through pain. And I don't have any remorse. It's just like, I know how to do that. It's just like a master at it. But going into the next era, that's not how I want to live my life. And all my trigger, all my clues are telling me that that's not how I want to live my life. So it's kind of like that's how I should live my life. So it's just, you know, being triggered so that I can learn. My boyfriend is Aquarian Sun and Cancer Moon. Oh, that's a very interesting combination. Very innovative, very peculiar. Aquarius, oh, Aquarius is not like that. Something very different about this person, right? And Cancer Moon, but inside it's very, very sensitive. So probably your boyfriend can be very unique, and maybe he's had a hard time accepting that part of himself being weird and being different. The Cancer side, but so much, cancers are care leaders, right? Always look out for others, and it's beautiful energy. So yeah, we're all learning. I want to read that more message that just to process this. Welcome to the third decade of Leo transit. The master level of love involves manifesting future creations, manifesting abundant creations, or manifesting creation that will reach a global audience. In the final 10 days of this transit, you will determine what loving and creative project will go into the future, which to put on hold, and which intention to abandon altogether. From this step forward, every day will be a blend of your feelings, your heart's desires. So all of the feelings and emotion that are connected to what you're creating will be coming up for you to manage. So where we are perfectly where we are, right? When we are triggered, we're perfectly where we need to be. With all the passion behind the intention, you have both the task of grounding your feelings and directing your heart's intentions at the same time. With step 20, ruling the day, your true feelings will come up without any filters or boundaries. Step 0, plethora of feelings will show up at the same time. Much of your job for today is the sorting through and separating the various feelings. You have to make distinctions or draw boundaries between what you're feeling and what your heart is telling you. So someone teach me, what's the best way to differentiate what your heart is feeling, telling you, and what you're feeling. Right? We all have patterns, and then feelings get triggered. But doesn't mean that this is true for your heart. Your heart wants something else. But sometimes we want, feelings and heart agrees with each other. Sometimes disagree with each other. But okay, when that happens, when your feeling says something, your heart disagree, what would you choose? And heart is a boss. But I think that's when intuition helps, right? So it's kind of like, okay, there's a feeling. I'm feeling in my body. There's a heart, something different. Okay, now intuition. Okay, what does my intuition have to say? I will pick the least of past resistance, right? And maybe we need to make uncomfortable feeling. We need to pick a comfortable feeling. I said this in a group class yesterday. I think we are all learning being uncomfortable is a new normal. Just because you're feeling comfortable doesn't mean that it's good for us anymore. We are changing so rapidly. So being uncomfortable is okay. It's safe. Just because you're feeling uncomfortable doesn't mean that you are unsafe. So differentiate being uncomfortable and safe. You can still be uncomfortable and being safe. So that's a new place for me, right? And that new place for us. At the same time, your feelings may alert you to problems with your plans that your heart and mind have ignored or missed the last few days. You may come to realize that your feelings are exposed or at risk of being hurt by something, or you may learn that your feelings are upset about something that you previously thought was fine. The essence of today is realize, learn about, nurture, protect your feelings so they are behind your heart's intentions versus inhibiting your goals. I like that. Essence of today is realize, learn about, nurture, and protect your feelings so they are behind your heart intentions. You got to protect your feelings regardless, right? As you secure and protect the feelings you have about your goals, you will witness your passion and enthusiasm growing. The safer your feelings are, the more excited we will feel for the project. So appreciating the feeling that comes up, but also stop the bad loop of interpreting this energy that coming up. This is good for me. Regardless, this is good for me. And the heart, like there's a feeling behind the heart. And each of your stories today, identify, nurture, and protect the feeling around your goals. Put up boundaries where you feel vulnerable or exposed. Interesting. Around your goals. Feelings are super sensitive. Today's super sensitive. And to public opinion, friendship, and public project. Nurture your feelings before working with the public. Shelter your feelings from outer interferences. You're becoming passionate about long-term changes to your action plan, behavior, or character. Feel the boundaries between the old you and new you. That's powerful. Today's goal is to sit with your feelings, not what they're telling you. Protect what's sensitive or vulnerable. The feelings that come up today are communicating to you important messages from the rest of your soul. Do your best to observe the messages and alter personal boundaries to protect yourself going forward. We all have boundaries, but doesn't mean that those boundaries are healthy for us, right? Like, let me talk about my micromanage controlling side of me. So observe, I think listen, observe first. It is good for me. It is for my highest good. This serves me for my direction that we are going. So something to assess. Feel the boundaries between the old you and new you. So when we stop self-doubting ourselves, just stop the pattern overall, right? And in order for us to do that, it's like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Cut that. And that is the boundaries that we put for ourselves, right? But it's important to sit with your feelings, know what they're telling you, protect what's sensitive or vulnerable. Get in touch with your emotions, feelings. Feelings that come up today are communicating to you important messages from the rest of your soul. Do your best to observe the messages and alter personal boundaries to protect yourself going forward. There's so much information to consider. Only your feelings can communicate it all. Feel it all out. My power stems from my passion. Yeah, my power stems from my passion. Energy, footwork, feelings. So everything needs to work together as a team, right? Sometimes this one agrees, sometimes this one disagrees, but we work together as a team, work together. So I see intuition, heart, and feelings, right? Intuition is the outside stimuli, inspiration, intuition, right? And then hit the skin, hit the layers of fascia that cause a sensation, and sensation becomes the feeling. So that's the feeling, right? And then that's when heart is the boss. So think of, now I feel like the heart is kind of like in the center of it all, right? Center of it all. But also it's the trinity, kind of intuition, feeling, and heart. And the heart is like, go through that anchor, right, with the solid foundation of yourself. I love myself, I accept myself, this line of full radical acceptance for ourselves and love ourselves. And the intuition come hit the heart and cause the feelings. And it will dance with all the feelings and emotions. And it's like, okay, let it explore. And I was being triggered, like lots of fear came up yesterday. Anxiety, like anxiety without any like any facts really. It's just like paranoid type of fear that came up. Like no, like it was really undescribable feeling, and I just observed that. I felt really uncomfortable, but again, I think it's also another theme for today is to be uncomfortable is a new norm. Just because you are feeling uncomfortable doesn't mean that you are not safe. So let's differentiate that. Being comfortable is where our growth is. And throughout this whole process of feeling uncomfortable, working through our emotions, let's just set the intention that we're safe regardless. We are safe. It's okay. I'm feeling super uncomfortable and nervous and thrilled and all excitement, all mixture of feelings of everything. But I am learning that I am safe throughout all the process, all stages of my life. So safe, I am protected, I am safe and safe, feeling of safe. And breathing bring us back to our body. I think what happens in our soul is when we don't feel safe in our body, our there's there's a spiritual body inside of us, right? We want to body, spiritual body, astral body, all kinds of bodies, right? But when we don't feel safe in our body, I think what happens to our body is when we don't feel safe, like it's like what one, it's kind of like the sensation of one foot in and one foot out. So I think our soul is like, when you drink alcohol, I heard that literal, what, like visualization of what happens to our soul. Like soul leaves the body. It kind of just like stay connected with a really thin string, but soul is right there when you black out and you completely leave your body, but it's like connected with the one string of attachment, so that you don't completely die, but it's like you're blacked out. But I think this happens a lot when you don't feel safe. Your body is there, your soul is kind of just like halfway out. So by breathing and feeling that sensation, okay, I feel my feet, I feel my ankle, feel my knees, feel my hips, feel my hands, feel my elbows, feel my shoulders, neck, and I feel my heart, feel my head. And it's just like working, like bringing back to our body, bringing ourselves back to our body. And I think that's what we need to do. Save. So now, I'd like to conclude our live with a card as usual. And I pick this card many times. This is for us, abundance. 8 people watching is 8 is it means something, right? The story, allow unlimited abundance. The story you tell determines the abundance you allow into your life. If you look at nature, you will find abundance in all forms. The fruit trees continuously provide the food and air we need to survive. We've been conditioned to always be the giver or a nurturer and often struggle to allow ourselves to receive from others. If we know giving feels so good, then why do we deny the gift others are trying to give us? Abundance is our natural state, and what you focus on expands. You can choose an abundance mindset, or you can play victim to the scarcity mindset. Your choice. Take time to tune into your thoughts. Notice the words you speak. Are they amplifying abundance, or are they supporting scarcity? Gratitude helps us to refocus our attention back to a peaceful state of abundance. Remember, to appreciate means to make more of. When you pull this card, ask yourself, will I allow myself to receive the unlimited abundance trying to make its way into my world? I think happy thoughts, so experience a life lived with joy. Yeah, to open up the pipe, you need to start with the gratitude. We all know that. And sometimes you don't feel it right away because somehow you don't feel like you're deserving of all the abundance and love and acceptance. But when you feel like that, it's just remembering what it's like to come back to our body, because we are already loved, we are already abundant, and we are already kind, and all of these things. Just coming back to ourselves and remembering our light being light, right? So and it's so hard to come back. You just stop what you're doing. stop the resistance. You just stop the pattern. You just I just stop focusing on it, stop, just like Phil Reserve, who won the gold medal in breaking competition, said, I just stop. Yeah, it will come up, right? It will come up, the self-doubt come up, and it's just like, that's okay, I will do it anyways, right? What he also said about, at the end of the day, whatever you feel, whether the self-doubt or joy or confidence, it's just a consistency that moves us forward. You just don't quit. So the emotion matter, we acknowledge them, you dance with these emotions, but we create, we show up even when we don't feel perfect and not confident, and feel not, the body is not cooperating with you, but show up, right? You just move forward, you learn from it, and then you keep pushing and pushing, and then you, at the end, you notice that, wow, I have come so far away, and you still don't feel enough. So if you notice that pattern, okay, I'm good at consistency, I keep pushing it, Instagram validates me. And so now I'm learning to just be okay with where I am. Where I'm heading is okay, I am safe. I am uncomfortable. Maybe that's why my patterns of needing to micromanage, needing to control everything got me where I am with my body. Tight. Things are coming up. My fear is being tapped out like this. But I know that everything is moving. I decided to move. There's nothing to control. There's nothing to micromanage. And I am being micromanaged, calculating all of this without me knowing. So I am want to flip that story. My old me was like that. My new story, my new me will be like, just simply trust. Simply observe. Simply listen. And relax. Just relax. Yeah. That concludes the live today. If you're feeling vulnerable, let's just embrace that. It's all good. Okay, feelings are trigger. You don't have to do anything about it. It is what it is. It is what it is. and observe, listen, know your pattern, but know that you're safe. You are uncomfortable, but you're safe. And you're safe. You're safe. And you're safe. So hope that give you some good insight of the day today. Thank you guys for being here, joining this speaking meditation time, Embody Your True Essence. I post this recording. This is basically from Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. PST. So thank you so much for joining, and I really appreciate your energy and commenting, contributing. And if you want to come on live, please request. We can talk too. So anyways, have a great rest of your day, and hope to see you soon. Bye.